This is it. The first computerized TV set. I never programmed it before. Let's see. It reads just that. Spinning camera. Ooh. There now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cartoons Weekend. Let's get my Christmas computer. These guys are seriously in the game. But see what happens with an easy application and side play. Let's get it. Not always good like you. But in this case, the parent has one last request. SadPizza was improved by General Foods. I don't think Major Man is emotionally stable enough to leave it before. All right. Give me that. You're fasting for this one. To surprise your family at the breakfast table, Golden Cheerios soaked the nectarine. Their baking sauce is so it's wonderful. The daughter is more than each other. It's really divided so that everyone is in it. You think so? I know I should, and I would, but then I would do it. How many seconds before your camera leader starts to your headache? This is buffering. If you have taken buffering just 60 seconds ago, special ingredients could already be starting to feed its camera leader to your headache. What's more, buffering won't set your stomach away colonoscopy time. Doctors specify buffering most of all you anti-headache tablets you can buy. Buffering, on its way in just 60 seconds. Are you a hack or a dog? No, I don't know. See, I love you. Just met a couple of minutes ago. Well, I know you might be a pot-smoking, jaded, wild-eyed, radical dropout. I am a pot-smoking, jaded, wild-eyed, radical dropout. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, the body politic. City delegation trip. We're moving the time of the test forward to 8:30 a.m. so the people who will evacuate them won't be inconvenienced. Isn't that nice? Where is the capital of South Vietnam? Mostly over here, in the Swiss Bank account. This starts with the following: armed robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, resisting arrest, armed murder in the first degree. Hello, Todd, a good one, phone call. Okay. Hello. What time is the second phone of Senegal tonight? Good. Everything's good. What's the whole thing going on in the Mediterranean? We are two men west. We're the Citizens Action Committee of America. Believe our high schools should be shut down. We want this to be safe. I want to be your friend to your feet. Your hot feet, your tired feet, your feet that itch a bone spread off swab. Yes, it's T.A. Edwards to the FFA, the fabulous foot fans of America, with an exciting line of liquor that you can receive in the privacy of your own homes, and what you do there is nobody's business but your own, if you know what I mean. Now here's what you get. Number one, a colorful 4-page folder featuring spicy photos of the feet of Wayne Newton, the Bowie sisters, and Amy Fukushima. Photos just the way you like them. Number two, a black and white film of the marching drum majorette playing to their feet in the locker room after the Rose Parade in Pasadena. You just want to take those tiny little feet in your hands and give them a big kiss. And three, our booklet so you want to be a tea salesman with helpful tips and an introduction by the fabulous Harry Carr. The 3-piece set, yours in the amazing way, $14.95 if you act now. Why don't you just get yourself a job? That's so late, baby. I can't be pinned down to a job. How do you such a different member of the working class? I don't consider myself working class. You don't consider yourself working class? What do you consider yourself? I consider myself middle class. So if you're the middle class, who's the working class? The unemployed. And that's right. This week I'm authorizing expenditures of $23 billion for defense, $4 billion, $700 million for additional foreign aid, and $11 billion for domestic programs. Excuse me, sir. Here's your coffee, and you still owe for last week. You get that up, please? This is not wonderful. I was just at the center of the 7th Jersey. I'm investigating charges that Senate state legislators are too comfortable with organized crime.
Dismissed the Congress, suspended the Constitution, imprisoned politicians and journalists, enforced martial law, and overruled the decree in order to prevent the overthrow of the government. All right, the task is follows. Armed robbery, assault with deadly weapon, resisting arrest, and first degree murder. Second alarm. All right, Todd. Oh, no, I guess I'm making one phone call. All right. Got up to order a bucket of chicken, another side, and some macaroni salad. What's your address? 17th First Street. 17th First Street. Giant flatbread out, stepping the cheese, final one. The strength of the property and for second degree murder, take it away. Call it call, I get one phone call. Alright. Do you believe in premarital sex?
That's a serious question. It's a very sincere and properly qualified answer. That's good, pretty much. Earlier, she just came out the tunnel on our telephone service.
I can't read it for the way it doesn't know. You know the things that the things that fly over them. You hear the things that they actually stand down. And you get them. Why do you do them? You look somewhere else. You think. You could stand over them and everywhere else if you stand up with them.
It isn't so much our telephones, Miss Trent. It's our network that links them together that gives us the most extraordinary communication system in the world. On our nationwide network, people talk, computer talk, anything goes. Pictures and drawings, anything. Instantly, anytime, anywhere. AT&T.
You know what I dreamed last night? I dreamed that I was a man buck and left a nut off your bathtub. Well, what did you do? I'm mad at you.
Have you tried to be more, I don't know, productive? Maybe you should try it. Or do it. Get married. Listen, now, don't forget you've been married a few years now. Statistics say that married people make love 2.5 times a week. That's right. 2 for them and 8 times for me.
You just told me you're telling me now. Thank you, my officer.
It is written which Moses was spoken to, Brahmin this. Only thou canst present it for size. Stand up. Yes, move on my side for a minute.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Try something different.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes married people sit in a room, they talk with silence. And I guess it's an intimacy too deep for words. It's rhythm.
Excuse me, sir. I found this Bible in my room. Yes? Well, it said Moses now underneath working in women. Oh, that's right. Is he a grand position? It's wonderful and precisely the longest day you live. Terribly sorry, Mr. Gideon. We'll send you up right away. A lot of people think marriage is a relative pathway. All of history says it. But it is only to be married, with its struggles and turmoil and its misery, that you find real happiness.
Buenas tardes. As you say, you've come to good news. The big English lesson is what you should say if you're at the big Mexican dinner in Mexico and you touch the ghost. It's just a kiss. You should turn to the hostess and say, excuse me.
Three of the five have a protective attitude about our women's folk. Maybe it's wrong, but that's the way we are. We always put our women on pedestal. Can you shut up while the men folks is talking? Come here, big beauty. Well, as much as you do. Even the house all day. So, you ask for the ball, the last spread, nothing is fine. It's hostility. Introducing New Jar Band, the anti-taste spray. Most sprays only stop odor, but New Jar Band does more. It also helps stop perspiration and wetness. New Jar Band keeps your so dry you can see the difference.
It's nothing like a wet shampoo. It's nothing like a dry shampoo. We do instant shampoo, you spray, brush, dry. Mix out oil and dirt, then wash it out completely. And your stuff stays quick. Compare.
Here's a good place to see.
Yeah, right? Remember, sir, I should have been used the apple and the pear.
You would be very ambiguous. Lemon like tea.
The new lemon whipping spray cleaner and the new big whistle for big job. Both of them with lemon drop cleaning power.
Oh dear, oh dear. Framåt nu första kör vi en tysk. Där vi slår över den och gör en vicka. Senast gick tvåan in och tog den styrmen. Känner du att han tar dig får vi slå den till Jim då. Jag vinner. Han har nu sin sista. Tittar från bänken och vi styr framåt så är det bara att köra. Vi har ingenting att veta längre. Vi kommer bakåt. Bygger bara sätt upp. Kom in. Well, not much to cheer, I'm afraid, on the Swedish side twice. They got back to within one in the second half. But they just couldn't maintain the momentum. The mistakes have crept back in again. And Müller was almost beside himself. We don't have long now before Brazil could write a new page in the history of handball for their nation. Free throw. In the group, frankly, where none of the teams have played on top form, although we have had some very exciting games. Sidestep, they're very close in. Passive play call. Lagerman takes the shot, he'll get a free throw for that. We'll be checking how many passes they have left. Can't be too many. If you've used up all 4 passes on a passive play, you do get the last one back when you get a free throw. Gottfriedson forced to take that long shot. And it's 19 saves for Rosa. So with Langaro off, Brazil
brought on Alves Montes, a new player, played his first international games for Brazil in their 2 friendlies against Germany in Hamburg and Flensburg before they came here. Lost both, 25-32, 26-28. Turnover ball, empty goal. It's gone wide. And no touch from the players either. Goalkeeper ball. And on such small little mistakes, hinges so much. Forsell Shepherd with the empty goal. And we're into the last 5 minutes. Sweden just look too nervous at the moment to really pull this back. The crowd have gone a bit quiet again because with it go Norway's very slim chances of getting through to the quarter-final. Too many steps. Turnover. Monte looking on from the stands, jumping up with every decision, forgetting he's not on court. It's not required. Karlsborg recovers the loose ball and big defensive effort up front now by Dupou. Offensive foul, it's called against Lagergren. 4 minutes to go. You just can't see it happening now. It's Brazil who may be about to celebrate. Filo. That's intercepted, is it? Race for the ball. And it's Brazil who win it. Line player, Edney Oliveira getting there first. And to stop the court, they're going to need to do a bit of mopping. That rolled over. He did well, he stopped behind Pelas. The Brazilians will have bragging rights over their Swedish teammates at their clubs. Monte, who plays alongside Carlson, and Pelas at Montpellier in France. That's a nice save by Panica. The resin kills the roll with the ball. And defender Petrus for Brazil will return to Barcelona, where he'll be with Karlsborg and Varna. Karlsborg with 3 from 7 has had a difficult day at the office today, in fairness, but none of them have had a good day. They're still sitting below 50% success rate on their shooting. Karlsborg finally sees the daylight. 4 goals in it. They've really got to push forwards now. They can't sit back and wait. Brazil will just make it very long attacks. Borges will go back, try and flatten a little bit of the defence. Team timeout for Brazil. Just give Marcus Oliveira a chance for his players to get their head around the fact that it's gone to man-to-man marking now.
Gustavo entra aqui pra mim. Senta só pra primeiro pivô. Vamos jogar 2 contra 1. Pontinha. Se sobrar ponta, a lateral esquerda no fly. Vai, Gustavo. No fly, no fly. Gustavo, Brasil.
Well, when you need a tough player on court on your side, Rodriguez is your man. Coming good with drives to the lines. Couple of goals, 3 assists. So play resumes, and they've decided to go a bit flat now. Effectively playing a 5-1 defence, but with the number 2 defenders pushing forwards, it looks a bit like a slightly disjointed 3-2-1. Table officials calling over the referees. Discussion between Mamadou Diabate and Jørn Müller Nielsen. Looking at the clock more than anything else, it's a technical issue, it's not a player issue. They're just going to maybe need to reset the timing. I'm sure if the clock didn't restart. They've got backups and backups to backups in terms of timekeeping. It's all good. We're set. Here we go again. Valos all the way back, and they're going to put on the extra attacker. Oh, they lost the ball! Just as they decided to put on the extra attacker to help. Sweden stole the ball, and Darosa caught out. It's Ekberg who gets it, straight down by Karlsborg as she gets his 5th goal. Into the last 2 minutes with 3 goals needed. Borges and Shorty, and his slim hope is gone with that, his 3rd goal. Karlsborg, Johansson, and he's not had the greatest of days either since coming on. Darosa is just on another planet at the moment. 19 saves. Carvalho. Langaro is back on again and says keep it calm. Their hearts must be going at 100 miles an hour. About to make their first ever World Championship quarter-final. Panika, that's a good save. Bella straight out to Karlsborg. They can't hang around here. Karlsborg caught in possession. Well, they let him go, and he immediately gets behind, and he's suddenly found the ball that had eluded him for much of the game. 6 goals now, and he's racking them up. But we're well inside the last minute. They need 3 more just for the draw. Not that that matters anymore. Marcos da Silva gets his first, one of the 7 players making their debut at the major championship of Brazil. This team that mixes experience with new blood has delivered the goods, and Marcos Oliveira will be delighted. Clock is running down into the line. Darosa gets a touch, but that's rather academic. Ekberg with his 2nd, and the celebrations have started at the bottom of the pitch on the bench. And there it is! And Brazil has created history. They are through to the quarter-final. They join Portugal. What a turn-up! And Sweden seemed to come back at them in the 2nd half. Twice got back to within 1, but Brazil kept cool heads and pulled away. And the final score in Oslo, Brazil 27, Sweden 24. Wow, they're going to be savouring this for a long time. Historical moment for Brazilian handball. And not only Sweden, but also Norway are left undone here today. After Spain earlier was swept aside by Portugal. Well, the next thing on the final day of matches here in main round, Group 3, coming up in a couple of days' time, will be the battle to see who finishes top of the group between Portugal and Brazil, which will be important because you avoid hot favourites Denmark. Well, the player of the match simply couldn't be anybody else. Daniel Darosa, 20 saves with a 48% save rate. A huge performance by the Brazilian goalkeeper. And Sweden, utterly dejected, came into the match as favourites, but Brazil had shown already on the opening day against Norway that they might be here with a new-look team and a lot of young players. Or I should say maybe more inexperienced. Some of the new ones not necessarily from a young generation, but this new-look team has delivered. Incredible scenes and dejection for Sweden. Their World Championship comes to an end. A team that has been used to being there at the end. European champions in 2022. Bronze medalists at the Euro last year. Silver medalist in the World Championship 2021. Beaten bronze medal match team 2 years ago. But in this main round group, we've had a lot of surprises, and we've had another one here today. And Brazil laid their stall out early, led from the start. And even though Sweden twice closed in on them, they showed great composure. Hard to imagine what is going through their heads at the moment. Some of them in their first ever major competition. Not Rodriguez though, it's his 4th World Championship. But Barros, who just went past there, certainly is his first. And he's absolutely delighted. And Müller up in the stands, doesn't even want to come down and join his teammates. He is beside himself, having been red carded early on. 27, Da Silva, another one of the new ones who scored his only goal of the World Championship. Off his 3rd shot. Special moment. So let's look at the statistics. Well, Sweden, 24 goals, 51% success rate. I'm afraid it improved marginally from the first half, but not enough. Brazil, 27 goals with a 59% success rate. Technically, a tad below par, but it was enough in the end. And Sweden, who love their fast breaks, got 5, but only scored 2 of them, while Brazil scored 2 from 4. The turnovers very high. Brazil, 16. Sweden 12, not the match for the purists, but despite having more turnovers, Brazil still managed to win. And both teams ended up with a red card. Monte for Brazil, Müller for Sweden. Some going with those 20 saves. Double combined efforts of Thulin and Palika at the other end. So top scoring for Sweden, Gottfriedsen and Karlsborg, who came good right at the end. 5 apiece, Langaro and Monte with 4 goals apiece. But they are just happy to have made it through to the quarterfinals. Well, it started well for Sweden, and then Brazil recovered, but then a brilliant spell in the middle. When you really thought they were going to do it twice, they got back to within 1 goal, Sweden. But then Brazil responded, 3 goals of their own. In fact, 4 of their own, and then Sweden just ran out of steam in the end. So for Sweden, 3 missed fast breaks, 2 missed penalties, and 7 missed breakthroughs, along with an empty goal shot. Their wings didn't get the service today. They just didn't spread the ball wide, and they barely managed to find the line. It was mostly breakthroughs and long-range efforts in the end, but not enough of them. For Brazil, they missed a couple of their fast breaks and their penalties as well. That missed just 1 breakthrough and an open goal. But the wings, well, the right side struggled a bit, 1 from 3, 2 from 2 on the left wing. But they did manage to find the line on a couple of occasions. Otherwise, some nice breakthroughs and good long-range shooting by Monte and Langaro. So with the early results here, Portugal's win over Spain, and now Brazil's win over Sweden. Portugal and Brazil at the top of the table are certain to finish top because of the other results, regardless of what happens next. Sweden dropped down to 3rd place, and Norway, who next played Chile, who would have harboured hopes of going to the quarterfinals, slim ones albeit. If Sweden had won, it's
fidanzati, lei mi dirà, ho più di 10 minuti di lei che